You reach out for him, and instead of hissing or running, he simply stands up, stretches, and walks away. You pull your hand back and assume he is just not in the mood or perhaps dislikes being petted. Yet he was the one who just approached you and settled down by your side. The truth is that this has nothing to do with his mood or a personal rejection of your affection. There is an intricate conversation happening between the two of you, but you simply do not know the underlying rules of the dialogue yet. This list covers 10 distinct reasons for this behavior, starting with the simplest and ending with the most vital. The fifth point in the sequence will explain a specific mechanism that will change the way you interact with your cat forever. Understanding these cues will transform your relationship and help you see the world through your feline companion's eyes. The first reason is sensory overload, which occurs because his nervous system becomes exhausted by constant signals. A cat's skin contains various mechanoreceptors that are evolutionarily tuned to detect even the slightest vibrations, such as prey moving through the grass in total darkness. What feels like a pleasant stroke to you is actually a relentless stream of data being sent to his brain. After a certain threshold, the brain begins to interpret this continuous touch as a source of irritation rather than a comfort. It is comparable to a person repeating the same word to you louder and louder until it becomes unbearable. He leaves not because you did something wrong, but because he has reached his limit and needs to say stop without starting a conflict. This is a gesture of politeness and boundaries rather than a flat refusal of your love. Many owners pet their cats where it is convenient for the human to reach rather than where the cat actually enjoys it. Cats have a specific map of preferences centered around areas with a high concentration of scent glands, such as the cheeks, behind the ears, and the base of the tail. Touching these specific zones activates a familiar social script because these are the places cats use to mark one another during friendly interactions. You must remember that the belly is often a deceptive trap for unsuspecting owners. While a cat showing its belly is a profound sign of trust, it is rarely an invitation for you to touch that vulnerable area. The instinct to protect vital organs remains strong, even when the cat appears completely relaxed. If you try petting only the head and cheeks for 1 week, you will see how much longer he chooses to stay. The third factor is the speed of your touch, as you might be petting him far too quickly when he desires a slower pace. Fast movements are often interpreted by cats as a sign of excitement or a potential threat. Conversely, slow and steady pressure mimics the way mother cats lick their kittens, which is a rhythm that signals safety and closeness. This specific pattern is what activates the parasympathetic nervous system and effectively lowers cortisol levels in the animal. When you pet a cat rapidly, even with the best intentions, his body shifts into a state of light mobilization and readiness. While this is not necessarily aggression or fear, it creates a sense of discomfort that eventually makes him walk away to find a quieter spot. If you consciously slow your movements down by half, it will fundamentally change the entire interaction. Many times a cat leaves because you seized the initiative the moment he approached you. Cats build their social interactions on a foundation of control, which is an evolutionary trait of a solitary predator that manages its own physical distance. When your cat comes to you, he is starting the interaction on his own specific terms. If you immediately reach out to grab or stroke him, you are essentially hijacking the social scenario. It is like a friend entering your home and being hugged before they even have a chance to take off their coat. This warmth is appreciated, but the timing is simply too fast for comfort. Instead, give him 2 or 3 seconds to get settled, then offer your hand palm down to see if he rubs against it first. This gives him the opportunity to grant permission for further contact. The fifth point is perhaps the most important because it concerns the direct extension of the cat's spine, the tail. Containing approximately 20 vertebrae wrapped in muscles and nerves, the tail serves as a real-time emotional scale. Most owners only recognize extreme signals like a puffed-up tail or one held high, but everything in between often goes unread. A slow side-to-side wagging of the tail is not a sign of friendliness, but rather a signal of mounting internal irritation. A cat cannot stop this movement through willpower any more than you can stop yourself from flinching at pain. The tail begins to move before the cat has even decided to leave, acting as a nervous system warning of impending overload. You must stop petting immediately when you see the tail start to move, or the cat will remember the contact as unpleasant. Understanding the context is vital because the same touch can feel completely different depending on the timing. Cats do not transition between emotional states as smoothly as humans do. If a cat has just been playing, his nervous system is still in a high-alert hunting mode where touch might be seen as a distraction or a continuation of the hunt. Similarly, a cat that has just woken up may be disoriented and easily startled by a sudden hand. The absolute best moment for physical contact is when the cat is seeking warmth and comfort, perhaps by blinking or yawning near you. This indicates he is in a parasympathetic state, meaning his nervous system feels entirely safe. By reading the moment rather than just the physical cues, you ensure the touch is received exactly as intended. You must also consider that a cat's decision to leave was likely made several seconds before he actually stood up. Their nervous systems process tactile signals much faster than ours due to their predatory physiology. If you wait until he looks visibly bothered, he has already been in a state of discomfort for quite some time. To keep the memory of the interaction positive, it is essential to be the one who ends the petting session first. Furthermore, cats prefer a specific type of pressure called allo-rubbing, which involves rubbing their faces and bodies against one another to exchange scents. A human hand stroking from top to bottom does not have a direct equivalent in their natural social language. When he rubs against your hand, he is actually petting you according to his own rules. By allowing him to lead, you respect his version of intimacy and closeness. There are many signals a cat gives off that you might be missing before he finally decides to walk away. The skin on his back might start to twitch, or his ears may turn slightly to the side or backward. His pupils might narrow and his body may tense up in a wave of signals that lasts only 3 to 5 seconds. If you are unaware of these precursors, it seems like he left without any warning at all. Paying attention to the twitching skin on his back is often the earliest and clearest sign that you should stop immediately. It is also important to realize that when a cat leaves and returns 10 minutes later, he is not being inconsistent. He simply needed a brief pause in stimulation, not a permanent distance from you. Cats regulate their need for closeness differently than humans, as they do not hold grudges or offer forgiveness in the way we do. They are simply honest about how much contact they can handle at any given moment and will return when they are ready for more. This behavior is a sign of immense trust, as he feels safe enough to leave, knowing you will still be there when he comes back. Every time he returns to sit by your side, he is making a conscious choice to be near you. Unlike dogs, cats do not have a built-in instinct to stay by a human's side out of habit. It is a repeated decision. If your cat is 5 years old, you likely have about 10 more years together, which equates to roughly 3,600 days of these choices. 3,600 is a finite number, and every one of those days is an opportunity to improve your communication. The next time he approaches you, try giving him 2 seconds to settle before offering your hand palm down. If he rubs against you, pat him slowly behind the ears and be the one to stop the interaction first. This approach allows him to be the one who chooses to stay rather than the one who feels forced to leave. Pay attention to these subtle signals and share your own experiences with how your cat reacts to these changes. You can subscribe for more insights into the silent language your cat uses every single day. In our next video, we will explore why cats look at you and blink slowly, revealing what scientists have discovered about their brains during those moments.